Welcome to the Wednesday, August 26th meeting for the Dudley Historical Commission. We will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I haven't done that since I did my discharge in 1969.
Okay, we're going to start tonight immediately with the public hearing, and that is for property at
419 West.
Okay,
419 West Main.
419 West Main Street, right? So with us this evening, Ed Ruggieri, representing Webco.
Yes.
Okay. Tell us about the property and why you want to take it off.
Well, the property is about 60 years old, and it has a lot of problems. And in seeking people to go and work there, most recently, an electrician did not want to touch anything anymore because he says the house is just too old and I don't want to take the chance of losing my license. And the suggestion was made you should tear it down. So,
Had it been in use? Had it been rented?
no.
No, it's been...
Prior to 4 months ago, not at present.
Oh, okay. But relatively recently. Okay. Okay. And it's a small property, what's it?
It's less than 800 square feet.
Yeah. Tiny, tiny place. Directly opposite, for those at home are saying, where is that on West Main Street? Directly opposite the entrance to Webco Chemical.
Correct. It's
All
a
right.
single-family dwelling. And there's a garage.
So are you just clearing it out? You don't have a project going on?
Nope, we're just gonna clean it up
Okay,
and nothing else.
all right. Do I hear any questions from the commission? Seeing none, do you have any questions of us?
No?
All right, what I'm going to do is close this public hearing in a minute, and then we will take a vote. The vote is to whether or not the building would meet our criteria for significance. So we'll have a little discussion on what that means. And if it doesn't, then you're free to demolish it. And I would have a letter in the, well, normally I'd have a letter the next day in the office for you, but we'll make sure you get what you need. Okay, so we're closing the hearing at time.
6:55. Yeah,
6:55. We got it? All right. I would just say that it doesn't meet criteria as I see it for being a historic building. It's not on the register. There were no activities that have gone on that property, to our knowledge, ever
Right.
of historic nature.
Right.
It's not an architectural oddity of the town that we'd like to keep. And no distinguished architect designed it in the first place. So, do I have a motion?
I make a motion that the building at 419 West Main Street does not meet any significance standards of the, as pertaining to the Dudley demolition bylaw.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous. Mr. Ruggieri, it was a pleasure seeing you.
And likewise, Mr. Chairman, and the members of the committee, I thank you very much.
Yes. Okay, moving to our real agenda, I'm going to read the State disclosure for public meetings. Bear with me, folks, especially if you've watched one of these meetings before. Pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law and the governor's executive orders imposing strict limitations on the number of people that may gather in one place, although a quorum of the members of the commission will be physically present for this meeting, no in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted. The meeting will be live broadcast on Dudley Cable Access Television, Channel 192, and members of the public can also access the rebroadcast of the meeting online via YouTube. In the event of an unanticipated interruption in this broadcast, we will post on the Tom's website an audio or visual recording, transcript, or other comprehensive record of proceedings as soon as possible after the meeting. Members of the public who wish to appear before the Historical Commission must make an appointment to appear on an upcoming agenda by contacting Edward Bazinet, Chair, at pondstage@charter.net, or by calling 508-943-5509. Placement on the agenda is not guaranteed, however, and persons requesting to appear before the commission should not attend a meeting in person unless and until the appointment has been confirmed by the chair. Persons with matters appearing on a meeting agenda may request that they attend via virtual means, such as via conference call rather than via in-person attendance. Such a request should be directed to Ed Bazinet no later than 3 business days in advance so that appropriate arrangements can be made. However, persons or representatives with matters appearing in the meeting notice agenda who wish to be physically present at the meeting must observe the following requirements. 1, in accordance with existing requirements imposed by the governor, meeting rooms will be limited in terms of the total number of persons that may be physically present at the same time, including board and commission chairmen, members and staff. Satellite rooms will be available for overflow, and the meeting will be broadcast in real time in those satellite rooms. Persons who wish to participate in any particular matter on the meeting agenda will be asked to wait in a satellite room until that agenda item is reached, at which point attendees will be rotated between the main meeting room and the satellite rooms as appropriate. Social distancing must be maintained in both the main meeting rooms and in satellite rooms. Face masks or coverings will be required in accordance with Governor Baker's May 1, 2020 COVID-19 Order Number 31. Failure to comply with these requirements may lead to an attendee's removal from the meeting. Whew! Isn't that fun? There you go. All right. Gentlemen, we're on our regular agenda. You don't need to stay, Ed. We appreciate you coming on by and say hi to all the folks at Webco for us.
I will. Thank you.
Yep. First item on the agenda, meeting minutes from March. You got these at home, and I assume you took a look at them. Did anybody have any issues with the March meeting minutes? Hearing
Move to
none?
accept.
Motion to accept, and a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, aye. Unanimous. Thank you, gentlemen. Financial update. We were awarded, I'll put that in here because it's money, money for our signage for the historical district. So the Janet Malzer Humanities Trust fully funded our request. Now, when we get these signs produced will be another issue because we'll have to work with the sign company. And then we'll have to figure out proper placement and timing to do this. So all of those things that were of issue pre-COVID, we never got to, so we'll catch up with those.
What outfit is that, Ed? What business, what sign company?
You tell me. Right down here.
Oh, Mercer?
Pardon?
Is it Mercer or the other sign place?
Louder.
The place down the
Right.
road, right?
Yes,
Signs Unlimited?
that we've done business with before.
Signs Unlimited. Is that it?
What is it?
Signs Unlimited?
Does that, it
The
doesn't
one
sound
above the
right.
gas station?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the
Signs
name.
Unlimited? All right. That's who we're dealing with.
How much was the grant?
Off the top of my head, it was about $1,700. It's in that ballpark. It's to provide signage north and south as you enter and exit, one in the center at the four corners, and those will all say that this is a historic district. And then we also have money in there for signage at the village cemetery.
Okay.
So that'll be an interpretive panel, and that'll take us some while to develop what should be on that. All right, moving to the village cemetery is the next topic. The town of Dudley also received a Janet Malzer Humanities Trust grant to do surveying, planning, and installation of plant material for the village cemetery. Michelle Jervis from the Selectman's Office wrote the grant, got it in just in time. We appreciate that. And she will be the lead person on it. We've already had one brief meeting up in the cemetery with a potential landscape architect and other people that would be interested in helping out. So the hope is we get a survey done that'll give us good points on all of the monuments and the locations of things in the cemetery, topographical issues, and then bring in the landscape architect to work off those and do appropriate plantings. And the survey also will allow for us to do other things on determination of grave sites. Right now, it's very difficult for some of us to pinpoint where graves are. So we're hoping this survey will do two things. It'll help with the landscaping and also indicate who's in there and where they are. There haven't been any interments in there for maybe 20 years, at least. So it's a little used, doesn't mean that somebody that doesn't have a deed can't come right up and say, okay, we want to use it.
Reverend Goodell was probably the last one that was buried in there sometime in the 40s,
It could be.
30s or 40s.
I don't know. But Michelle did have a very good written-out listing of people in graves. We're just not sure of exactly where it is. The survey will help us nail that down, and we'll give her a hand with that. So that will be going along. How much we get done right immediately, I would hope if we can find a surveyor, we can get that started. And then the planning can go on even over the winter, and then plantings physically probably in the spring. But there's hope that the place will begin to look again like a proper cemetery, not a wasteland.
Are there any ideas on the plants?
No, we would ask the architect to give us some suggestions. But we're looking toward vintage, standard,
Sure.
things that would be evocative of the 1800s. Stuff you got in your backyard. Other questions on the cemetery? All right. We talked about the district signage. I'll be doing that. And future events, town celebrations, we have no clue. We'll just keep riding this ride until it becomes obvious when we're going to be able to open up again. I would dearly love to see us back next June with significant celebrations and things, but we have no idea. All right, comments? Any business coming before us? Yes?
Just a clarification.
Yep.
We also received a Malzer grant for $600 for the Tradesmen in the Common, which has been postponed to 2021, October, first Saturday. We also have a tiny bit, maybe $60 left over from last year's.
Mm-hmm.
So with the $700 from the Dudley Cultural Council, we are maybe short $45 of full funding. There is, however, an issue that I've discovered. The Dudley Cultural Council will not pay that $700 grant until after the event, and we pay the artisans at the event. So the money to pay them will have to come from some other part of our budget and then be
Okay.
repaid.
But we have a letter from the Cultural Council
I sent you a copy.
guaranteeing.
It's an email, but yes,
So we could take money out of
Anywhere
our
we
gift
want.
account and just get reimbursed.
I just want that
Good.
on the record.
Yeah, no.
We need 10K out of the town meeting for architectural preservation.
We need what?
$10,000 for
Oh, yeah,
architectural preservation.
in the
and then
fall town meeting,
Yeah,
the normal procedure.
and then we will get a 5K matching grant from the anonymous donor.
Well, I think the grants are one-for-one minimum, right?
We get,
If we put in,
we get 10 from the town at the town
we
meeting,
normally got 10, and then we got 5.
and we get 5.
The question is the grant available if the town only ponies up 5, not 10? I don't know.
Well, let's not even go there. Let's just
No, but I need to
10.
see the writing,
Yeah, we've gotten 10.
because we got to get it right when we go to the,
Okay, well, we've asked for 10 so far, and we've gotten it.
right. But it's appropriate because we're going to be right up against that shortly. So,
We've got to get together with the clerk to send out something to be done, because we had several contributions now for several years, and we haven't
right.
Is
used
that something I should put in the minutes?
You could just summarize it, that we need to make sure that we go and get on the town warrant for the fall to secure funds for our usual matching grant.
Got it.
Okay. That's good, because I have a call into Jonathan, so it'll give me a chance to find out what that time frame looks like. Anything else before the board? Do I have a motion?
Let's
Motion
go.
adjourned.
Second? All in favor? Aye. Thank you, folks.